Hi guys, thank you so much for coming again to watch my video. You're welcome to my channel, and if this is your first time of seeing this beautiful face, you're welcome. My name is Olajumoke. Before we go into today's video, I would like to express my profound gratitude to each and every one of you for supporting me in my first video. In fact, that video was just more than I thought it would be. Most people even took it more personal. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for carrying my matter on your head. I'm really excited that you are part of the family. Without further ado, let us get straight into the video. Alright, you're welcome back, because something I've been meaning to discuss for the longest time. I was going to put it in writing, but I just felt it's best I talk about it. It's best I express myself, just so that I can satisfy what I feel in me. It's something that I've always wanted to talk about after hearing it about 5 years ago, but it has been in my heart for about 2-3 months. I've just wanted to talk, but I have not had the platform, I've not had the opportunity to do so. And since I was thinking of opening a YouTube channel, I was not sure, but now that I've opened it, by all means, you will hear it. So thank you for watching. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know what your parents do for a living? I know it's an obvious question. Why is she asking me that kind of question? My mom is a lawyer. My dad is a secretary. My dad is a lawyer. He's a hairdresser. I know, we all know what our parents do for a living. Well, some of us. But I'm not asking you about the head knowledge. I mean, what you know, what you think you know. I'm not asking you, it is obvious. My mom does this, my dad does that. I'm not asking you what you already know. That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you if you have an interest. I'm asking you if you ask questions. Asking you if you pay attention. Now, I'm not saying all of this to say that, oh, because you're paying attention or developing interest means that you must do what your parents are doing, or you must go in their line, carry on their legacy. If it's not your interest, please, by all means, do whatever suits you. Yes, do whatever you want to do. Study what you want to study in school. I'm not for that you must do what your parents do now. I'm not in that school of thought. However, regardless of whatever you want to do, regardless of what path you want to follow in life, it is very important that you at least know what your parents do. It's very important that at least you pay attention to it. It doesn't take too much, just ask questions. Just show them that you want to know, some care, show some love to them. Sometimes they don't talk, but it also feels good if children ask you, Daddy, what are you doing? What's your job description? It makes them feel good. Just so you know, it makes them feel good. So aside from them feeling good, it's also good for you to broaden your horizon. It's also good for knowledge, just to know. Nothing else, but just to know. Put yourself into what they do. Your dad is a doctor, and you don't know what a cannula is. You don't know what a thermometer looks like. If these things seem basic, you don't know what a stethoscope is used for. It seems basic. I know it sounds weird and very absurd to think that, but they are basic things. Do you know what a glucometer is for? Do you know how it is used? Let's start with that. Your mom sells fish in the market, and you can't even confidently identify 5 kinds of fish on the table. Okay, this is pink salmon, this is mackerel, this is titus, this is croaker, this is that. I'm just wondering how you live with them, how take their money, and you don't even put yourself into what they do. You can't even leave you in their store to sell for them, because they know you don't know anything about what they are selling. It is ridiculous, my friends. I'm not chastising you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm not rebuking you. I'm just waking you up a bit, putting you on your toes a little bit, just a little bit, so you can think through these things. 2 things before we get into the gist of the gist. One, I'm not referring to parents who do illegitimate things to earn a living. Now, those are not my concerns right now. I'm not talking about them. Then two, I know some of you have already left home. In fact, you even have a family of your own. It might not affect you per se, but just in case you fall into that category of people who never showed interest or who never paid attention to what their parents do for a living, these things are still redeemable. Redeem it as much as you can. It's not too late. I think it's not too late. So if it's something you can still redeem, please by all means go ahead and redeem it, because it's very important. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel excited that my son, my daughter is paying attention to what I do for a living. Your dad is a pastor. Sometimes just ask him, Dad, how do you cope with counseling? How do you always know the right things to say to your church members? How do you lead this group of people? How do you lose sleep? Because I know some pastors who get calls almost 12 hours out of 24 hours. People are calling their church members, either it's financial or it's for emergency or it's for counseling, a lot of things. So need some form of encouragement too. So you whose father is a pastor, you whose mother is a pastor, just a question. Show some kind of interest, because it's very important for you to put yourself into what your parents do. Now, after establishing those two facts, let's get right into the nitty-gritty. So, I have a story to tell you, and I really hope that this story, one that struck a chord in me when it was told to me about 5 years ago. It was something that I felt that it was something, as at then, I felt it was just a story a lot of people needed to hear. I mean, a lot of our youths these days are just living life. But they don't understand these things. They're just living life. But anyway, now my mom had this friend who a HR manager in one of the very top banks in Nigeria, and she told her this story of two people who came seeking employment. I think it was the stage of the interview. So they interviewed these two people, a boy and a girl. Now, for the boy, they asked him a question. They said, "What were you doing whilst waiting to get a job? When you finished school, what were you doing? How were you keeping yourself busy?" And I think they randomly asked what his parents do for a living, and he said his family owns a farm. I think it's a family business. And they asked, "Okay, so how did you yourself into the business? How did you make an impact?" And guess what my bros said? My bros said he's interested in farming. I mean, he didn't like kids, he was interested, so he didn't help them do anything. So they put him on one side. Then they went on to the girl and they asked, okay, so they asked the same question, what was she doing, was waiting for a job. She said, oh well, she helped her mom's business grow from 2 crates of soft drinks to 3 to 4 to 5. She helped her mom's business grow. She helped her know the difference between capital and interest. She helped her balance the sheets. She just helped her mom's business greatly. And I think as at the time she was asked these questions when she was in the interview, I think as at then her mom already had a Coca-Cola depot. I don't know, but she was a distributor for Coca-Cola. So as at that time, but she started really, really small. She helped her mom grow her business. She read accounting in school, and then the panel's friend was one of them. They decided that they would give the girl the job, and the simple reason was because they felt if she could take care of her mom's business to this extent and grow it to this extent, why won't she do that for us? Sure. We already can tell the girl got the job. You already know the answer. The girl got the job, and I think some years later she grew to be whether a branch manager. I don't know if it was a great asset to the bank. Now these two people involved, I'm sure you might feel, oh, but he wasn't interested now. Is it compulsory? Well, it's not compulsory. However, that is where the resources for your family is coming from. That is where your family's income is coming from. I'm sure you say, what's my business? It doesn't concern me. But it concerns you because your family's income comes from there. Nobody is saying that you should become a farmer. No. Nobody is saying that you should become a hairdresser because your mom is a hairdresser. Nobody is saying that you should become a doctor because your dad is a doctor. Nobody is saying you should become an electrician because your dad is an electrician. But pay attention to it. I mean, put yourself into it. Ask questions. How is your dad an electrician and you don't even know how to change a light bulb? Think about it. think about it. Conversations with one or two people, and then they don't know how to prepare lesson notes. They've never even helped to mark scripts before. I mean, they've never done anything that had to do with teaching. They're unthinkable, girl, guy. It's unthinkable. In fact, let me give you the assignment, guys. Go around, ask at least 5 of your friends, and find out what I said is true or not. Just find out at least 5 of your friends, for both parents, if they still have both parents, their mom and their dad. Ask what they do for a living, and ask if they even have details, or if they know their job description, they know what is expected of their parents at work. Just ask questions and you will be shocked to find out some of these things. Now, having an interest in these things doesn't mean they are forcing it on you. It's just to make them feel good. Now, I'll give you 3 tips. 1, show some interest if you haven't been doing so. This is something I think all of us can begin to do. Even if you showed interest before, show some more interest, because it makes your parents feel like they are doing a lot. It makes them feel that their sacrifice or their efforts for you is being appreciated. In fact, it makes them feel elated. Try it and see. Try to get a feedback from. Put it in the comments, below. Let me know if it worked. Just show some interest. If you aren't in your parents' house anymore, there's no harm in calling them. Okay, so mom, how's the event today? What did you plan? How did you do it? I'll come and see you. Just strike a conversation with them, just in case you're not living with them again. But if you are, just sit them down one day. Mom, how was work today? Dad, how was work? So Dad, I would like to go to the office with you tomorrow. That brings me to my second point. Sometimes go with them to work if you can. Now they're asking them if they will permit you to follow them to work. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Go to work just to see how hard they work, just to see what they do to earn a living, what they do to be able to provide so much for you. That's all. Just go first and see. Then you'll be shocked that you even feel good. A young friend of mine gave me an essay to read for her, and I went through it, and her passion for medicine was born out of the fact that she once followed her mom to the hospital, and she got involved with what they were doing. I think the nurses would weigh them, and then she would record it. She was about 8 years old or something, and today she's working so hard to become a medical doctor. Not because her mom is a medical doctor, just because she developed an interest for it by going there. It doesn't happen like that for everybody, but just put yourself in it. Then the third point is please encourage them. These people need encouragement. When I think of how hard parents around me work, I mean, it is very encouraging. When I think about it, I just feel elated at people who still work very hard, who do legitimate businesses, and who strive so much to be better people. I really hope that you've learned a thing or two in this video. I don't know if I'm going to do a part 2. Let me leave this here for now, and I'm really looking forward to your feedback. I want to know, try these tips and try them and let me know. Give me a feedback. I'd like to know if you were able to do something and if things have gotten better and all of that. So thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for watching till the end. I'm really grateful. God bless. Keep you for me. Thank you for sticking around till now. I will see you in my next video. Bye.